Welcome to part two of the bonus episode about central nervous system regulation. This is the second half of the techniques. I'm going to just dive right on into it since this is a short little bonus episode. Stay tuned. I'm going to go over a few more central nervous system regulation techniques, especially some that I use, and then I'm going to wrap it up because it's supposed to be bonus, it's supposed to be short, and it's supposed to help, especially during the holidays. So, what can you do once you notice yourself in sympathetic? What do you do? That's a good question. And if you've listened to all my episodes so far, you may be able to answer this. No, it's okay. I'll wait. If you came up with the answer of ask yourself, what do you need in this moment? That's a good answer. Absolutely. If you didn't come up with that, don't beat yourself up. This takes years of practice. It's taken me years, not months, not weeks, and sure as hell not days, years of practice to get to this, where I recognize when I'm in fight or flight, when I recognize when I'm in sympathetic or dorsal, and say, what do I need in this moment? And sometimes I look at the inner child. What does she need? What is she saying? Or what is she doing? Or what's her body language? Do I need a hug? Do I need comfort? Can I not give myself a hug? I'm in public. I can try. I mean, do a little subtle hug kind of thing. If I'm at home, I have this hammock chair, and it was $20 that I bought online. So it was really affordable and inexpensive. And I feel like I'm being wrapped in it because it puts pressure over most of my body to sit in the hammock chair. And if I just kind of swing in that for 5 or 10 minutes, it fully calms my nervous system. Another very similar idea would be a weighted blanket. It's whatever works for you. And it's just a trick, an idea, a tool, not really a trick. It's a tool that I use to calm my central nervous system because all over pressure helps me because I'm neurodivergent, because I have ADD. In case y'all forgot, because I go down the squirrel pathway more times than Chevy Chase chases a squirrel in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, that's just a classic. I watched that so many times as a kid and as an adult. Anyway, there's a little squirrel topic for you. So I like the all over pressure of the hammock chair. Also, if you have a pet, petting them and connecting with them and connecting with your breath, or just connecting with your breath. If you can pet a pet and connect with your breath at the same time, great. Otherwise, just connect with your breath. Do some box breathing. In fact, do it with me now because it's so good for us. And it brings up so many good things, not the least of which is central nervous system regulation. Box breathing. What is box breathing? I've never heard of that, Missy. Okay, cool. No, it's cool. I'll walk you through it. So you go breathe in for 4 seconds, count of 4. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in for 4. Don't mind the sniffles. I have a cold. There you go. I heard you counting. Good job. I can hear you doing it with me. And repeat that for a couple of minutes. Even if you can do it for 1 minute, your brain will be happier. Your nervous system will be happier. You will feel better throughout the day, even if it's the end of the day. Do it any time of day. It's so good for you. And it's good for me to practice. And sometimes I forget these techniques too. And I have to remind myself. And just catching yourself when you feel dysregulated, when you feel upset or uncomfortable or just off. I feel slightly off or I feel really off. That is noticing the dysregulation. Take some time, even if it's 30 seconds, preferably a minute, but take the time to start to regulate yourself, even if that's just a little bit of breathing. Let's say you're stuck in a meeting and you can't really go anywhere, can't do anything, not reasonably anyway, and your prefrontal cortex is offline because of something that just happened or something that you thought of or something that triggered you. It doesn't matter, right? You're in sympathetic, you're in this meeting, digitally or otherwise, and you can't do anything about it, or you can't think enough to leave, right? Do some box breathing. Do it quietly. So hopefully you're not making a lot of people notice you, because that's the goal, right? Just to get through this meeting. And I can all but promise you that's going to help. It's not going to fix. This is not a cure. This is not get rid of anxiety. And it may or may not bring you back into your prefrontal cortex. It may or may not bring you back into your ventral vagal nervous system state, but it will help. It will. You have to give it a try. And you have to give it a try more than once. So maybe the all over pressure doesn't sound like it's your jam. Maybe that doesn't sound like it would work for you for regulating. So ask yourself, what does work for me? Does the inner child healing resonate with you? Does pausing to notice that you're in sympathetic or dorsal resonate with you? What works for regulating you? Maybe co-regulation is what you need. Maybe you have a partner that helps regulate you, or a brother or a friend. Maybe reaching out to a trusted friend or family member is what you need, which I also do sometimes, especially when I'm upset, when I can't regulate myself or I'm too far into sympathetic and I know I can't get my stuff together. I call a friend. And I know that that has helped me 100% of the time. And there have been times I've reached out to friends that I wasn't that close with or didn't know well enough to know if they're going to help regulate and asked for help and was told no. And I remember getting upset about that. And now I feel a little bit guilty because they had their own mental health issues and boundaries, and they couldn't help me because they couldn't help themselves. It wasn't that they didn't want to help me. It wasn't that they didn't love me or care about me. It's that they're dealing with their own stuff. And now, after doing so much work and getting to the point of a wiser mindset about this, I realize, oh, that wasn't about me. That is not about me. And you know what that means? It means it's not about you. If somebody can't help you, or if they're not the one to co-regulate, or can't talk you down, or can't handle when you're in shame, it's not about you. It's about them not doing their work, or not in a state in that very moment where they can handle it. Maybe they're in sympathetic. Maybe they're in dorsal. In fact, I'll bet that person was in dorsal when I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm in shame. I need some help. And they said, no, go away. And they said it much more tactfully, like, sorry, I can't right now. And then never reached back out and never checked in. And that's okay because that person couldn't handle that. You guys remember the story about Brene and doing the best that we can? That's the story I want you to keep in mind in that moment. We are all doing the best that we can for the most part, most of the time. And so is that person. And so is whatever person that you reached out to for help that maybe couldn't help you. But let's hope that you reached out to someone that could help you. Okay, I don't want to drone on forever. It's supposed to be a short bonus episode. If no one's told you this today, I love you. I am proud of you. Keep doing that hard work. Even if it's just listening to a podcast, I say just. That's not just. That's big work. This is hard work. Be proud of yourself. If you're not, I am. I'm proud of you. Just know you are loved. You are worthy of love. You are loved. Thank you again for all of the support. If you don't already, don't forget to follow the podcast on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts so that you can get the latest episodes, bonus, and whatnot downloaded, hopefully automatically, although Spotify changed their algorithm, so you may have to download it manually, whatever. Sometimes we got to work with what we got, right? So I'm missy.traveler on TikTok, Missy the Traveler on Instagram. You make it happen podcast@gmail.com. Send me your questions, send me your episode requests, send me your topics, send me your concerns. I get to as many responses as I possibly can. I try to get to everybody, but I can't always do that. One of the ways I'm trying to take better care of my followers and fans is by opening more spots in my coaching practice as a life coach who specializes in anxious attachment recovery, any insecure attachment recovery. If you want to work together, DM me. I hope to have the website up and running soon, but the coaching practice is in full swing. DM me if you'd like to do one-on-one sessions. Take care of yourself, especially during the holidays, but take care of yourself all the time. I love you, and I'll see y'all next episode. Work your stuff out, not on other people. We'll see you next time.